What's going on, fellas? It's your main man back on the scene with another video. Now, just skimmed through this article. I saw this the other day, but I finally sat down and went through it. She has some good points. I agree with some of them. Some of them I don't. It's time for superhero movies to take a nice long break for their own good. And my stance on this, for Marvel, Endgame should have been the end. That's it. They should have left it alone for a few years, retool, come up with a new storyline, new big baddie, and then come back. Give people a chance to miss it. DC, they're all over the place. I don't know. They got to get this stuff together. When I was a little girl watching Christopher Reeve in Superman, I dreamed of the day I'd see Wonder Woman, the X-Men, and the other superheroes I love on the big screen as well. Back then, between the weird looks I'd get for loving superheroes, this was before the world at large, here we go, acknowledge that people of all genders could love anything they wanted. Look here. Comic book fans in general got the business. You were a nerd, geek, cornball, Oreo, etc. This was nothing that was directed towards women only. This was, you're a geek, you're a cornball. That's what it is. She said something else that, here. As technology advanced, it seemed more and more likely that the caped heroes would finally break through and become more common as film subjects. First time I thought that they could do superhero movies was the second Matrix movie. It seemed when he was fighting all the Smiths and they piled on him and he's like, ah.
It is inevitable.
Like the whole comic books, that was the moment I knew they could do it. And then eventually they came out with Iron Man, like she's saying here. And let's see what she's talking about. I spent my career writing about superheroes and genre projects, thrilled with each announcement until I wasn't. It wasn't one or even several bad movies that did it. It's the sheer frequency with which they're being churned out, and a few other more complicated factors. So her main thing is the frequency. My main thing is the quality. After Endgame, it's all downhill. Period. The only good movie was Spider-Man, No Way Home. That was it. Let's check out some of her points. We know too much about the behind-the-scene dealings. Hey, this is true. I think with social media, once they got on there and you hear all their points of views and their politics and all that, I think it's a bad idea because you're going to alienate half of the fan base either way. I would keep that to a bare minimum, especially if they're, the way it is now, it's like if people don't agree with you, you get attacked. And let me see, she said something like that. Down here. Yeah, she's up here too. She's Shazam. Well, Shazam was good. I haven't seen this because I thought that they dropped the ball when they announced they were going to have a separate Black Adam movie instead of having him in the second Shazam movie. Yeah, showing Ezra Miller, all the stuff that whatever he calls himself now got into. Definitely allegedly has problem with putting his hands on the women. Says the rise of superhero films as the dominant box office moneymakers coincided with the rise of social media. It isn't just what the stars are saying, as the toxic side of fandom can put people off as well. As someone who loves both Marvel and DC, I've actually seen cruelty and harassment on both sides. If I like a film, I'm told the studio is paying me. If I dislike the film, I'm apparently a monster and I should be killed. Yes, this has actually been said to me more than once. That's the problem. Like online, you got a lot of punk asses talk tough because they have the luxury of hiding behind their screen. So they say things like, in the real world, they wouldn't say it because you run the risk of getting your wig pushed back. So, in the real world, there are consequences for being all up in somebody's face. Too much CGI. This is true. It's terrible. Like when Star Wars came out, they had the models. They actually built stuff. And that's what makes people love it so much, because there's like a depth to it. And the CGI is just, and it's not good on top of that. Yeah, he said, the Wild's Quantumanium broke my heart because I love the first two films, but the effects and background in Quantum Realm were so awful. Not at all helped by the way effects artists are treated these days. Yeah, that's like with Wonder Woman. And even what's that? Batman v Superman. That the end fight scene with the CGI monster, man. They just wore that out, and it looks bad. I mean, if you're gonna do it, at least put the money into it and make it look like wow. Too much multiverse. I don't know, because they didn't really dwell too deep into that with Marvel. So I don't know. She lost me with this one. Unless she's talking about the TV shows on Disney Plus, which I don't have. So she's saying you have to wait. The multiverse is a super fun concept when you're talking about comics. You have to wait for each issue, so you have time to absorb things. With films, it's a lot to take in when they're happening this frequently. Well, see, that's the thing with the comics. It was that anticipation. Like with the Avengers, I forgot what number the books are with Count Nefaria. I mean, like each issue, I was like, damn, I can't wait for the next book to come out. Because there's that wait period and that anticipation. What's going to happen next? But when they're constantly bombarding you with stuff, I can see how it could be a bit much. But I think the main thing is it's just not good. Fear of Gods, I don't know. I didn't watch that, so I don't plan on watching it either. A film that is targeted at kids might not want to use an R-rated show as a reference point. If you didn't see Loki on Disney Plus, you're probably not going to get a lot out of Quantumania. It's not good. The plot of the show is here's what you need to know to watch the next one. Yeah, it's like a big commercial. They forsaken good writing just to make content. Everything's a commercial for the next movie or the next show. And that goes back to it's not good, man. The stuff is terrible. As these multiverse stories continue to expand. Every new project seems to be an ad for the next one. In theory, it's fun to build on something, but this is not a book series that gives you time between the process. Yeah. And like for her, everything is like there's too much of it. What can we do? I gotta go see John Wick. Let's see what she says. So how can this be fixed? If you want to keep the people interested, something will have to change. Like the frequency, Marvel and DC are not going to stop making superhero films, but they could maybe do less. If you want casual fans to absorb deep cuts, and it's fine if you do, you're going to have to give people some breathing room to absorb it all. I don't think that's the case. This stuff is not good. That's the main problem. It's not good. Give them time to get excited and want to look things up to do a rewatch. Make us miss the films before you do another one. Marvel released 8 projects in 2022. That's insane. It's time to scale back. Do more one-offs like Werewolf by Night, The Batman. Let the story end. Yeah, that's good, man. I'm for that. I'm kind of disappointed that Werewolf by Night isn't a series because I thought it was going to be a series and then it's not. But Werewolf by Night is good. I'm going to give it that. Let the story end. Let the reaction to the film breathe. Lots of people might be willing to catch up if it doesn't require 1/5 of the life of their time. Oh, well, I haven't been watching a lot of this stuff, so maybe she saw something I didn't see. Because after Endgame, I pretty much checked out. I saw Shang-Chi, and that was so-so. Spider-Man was good, and that was about it. Oh, Venom. It's okay. Yeah, that's about it, man. Yeah, I agree with her. Give people a chance to miss it. That's what I was saying about the MCU. Let it end. Let a few years go by. Give us a chance to miss it. Like Star Wars. What made Star Wars hot was that you were anticipating the next film. You had to wait a while before it came out. But anyways, guys, I'm not going to drag it out. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with this lady? Or do you think they should just keep the pace that they're going? Or, I don't know, man. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you fellas in the next video.